again. This is highly questionable. This right here is my father and his $9 orange watch. That's Izzy Gutierrez. What do you like on the show today, Izzy?
There's NFL football today, Dan. No time for this. Let's move along.
Okay, dale, papi.
Football is back. Would you rather have Matt Ryan or Nick Foles tonight?
All right. Yes, we're very happy about football being back. Izzy got a copy of the questions just before the show, and he said, are they serious with this question? Matt Ryan or Nick Foles? But this is just the producer saying talk about football because football's back. I'm with Jalen Ramsey, though. I really don't know how good Matt Ryan actually is. I don't think of him as an MVP. I think of him as an MVP when Shanahan is his coach and when Julio Jones is his receiver. I do wonder if he's Ryan Tannehill, who happens to have Julio Jones. But tonight you want him. You want him over Nick Foles healthy. You want him over Nick Foles not healthy. You want him over anyone who's got Foles on the back of their jersey.
It's funny you mentioned the Jalen Ramsey thing because one of the few people he does respect is Julio Jones. So clearly he thinks Julio Jones has made Matt Ryan. The other thing I think is hilarious here is we're all in anticipation of this NFL season opener, and who isn't? Nick Foles, because this offseason has been the time of his life since winning the Super Bowl, and now he's going to be the first quarterback we see. But when it comes to the Eagles here, I think when you've seen how bad of a player Nick Foles was in the preseason, and you look at his numbers and see how poor he plays in losses, it just goes to show you how good that Eagles team was last year. They made him look great. And when he plays well over the course of his career, he looks like Drew Brees in terms of numbers. So this Eagles team, if it can recreate that level around Nick Foles, it won't matter if Carson Wentz can come back, they could still win another one.
Oh, I can see Carson Wentz tonight laying back like this on the sideline and saying, oh, look at those suckers playing, you know what I mean?
Hey, you can see that, right? Look at you guys. I'll be back in about 8 games.
Yes, I'm going to save my body.
Are Le'Veon Bell's teammates right to be so upset with him?
I was legitimately surprised when this story came out that Labor in the Steelers locker room would not side with Labor. Made me wonder if they don't like Le'Veon Bell, if those offensive linemen have been quiet for a long time and they're not merely being selfish about his selfishness and telling him to get his money and his carries back in their backfield. They are telling you out loud, offensive linemen who love to be anonymous, that we're not down with this guy, we're not down with his cause, and it makes me wonder what it's going to be like when he gets back, because I'd feel pretty betrayed if I was him that the Labor didn't have my back on this one.
Yeah, the people who don't really understand what's going on, who sort of dance around it and get a little bit of information, think, oh, okay, he's just saving his body, not playing in the preseason, doing what he did last year, calling it a holdout because he wants a new contract, but he'll be back. But here's the thing, they don't even recognize, his own teammates don't even recognize what this dispute really is. He got a contract offer from the Steelers, and it was looked at as a decent offer, but really it only had about $10 million in actual guarantees upon signing. That's an insult for a guy who at 26 has already done so much for what he's done for that organization. So his teammates calling him out don't have any perspective whatsoever either. This guy wants to get paid for the long term, and the longer he plays under these circumstances, the less of a chance he's going to get that big money because it's going to be, again, more wear and tear on his body.
I want you to understand, though, how weird this is for teammates to do something like this. Mike Tomlin is management. He did not talk in these terms, even though he selfishly also wants Le'Veon Bell back. He didn't even talk in these terms. These are his teammates selling him out to a customer base that's willing to look at him and say, well, you betrayed us. They're adding fuel to the fire in a way that was unnecessary.
And normally I don't like to talk about losing the locker room or a locker room in shambles because once they go on the field, all that stuff's cleared up. But when you've got this type of fighting between a running back and his offensive lineman or anybody on there and a play goes wrong, there's going to be question marks upon each side, and you don't know if that's repairable there. This might be damage for good.
Hey, Izzy, we know how that offensive line feels. You and me do all the work, and he gets all the money.
Seriously. Huge holes for that guy we're putting up.
Yes, that's the way it should be.
Is Willie Taggart right to complain about Virginia Tech faking injuries?
Well, he wasn't exactly complaining about it. He was asked a question about whether or not they were doing it intentionally, and he was saying, wasn't it obvious? It happened so often, it had to be intentional. You will see plenty of video here of guys faking injuries after looking to the sidelines, but there is no rule against it, so you can't have anyone stop from doing it. This is what I would say to you if you're Willie Taggart, though. You need to not say that after that particular loss, because we all saw you on the sidelines in a nationally televised game wearing a whistle for no good reason.
Yeah, I'm all about player safety, and I understand even people like Nick Saban said the hurry-up offense should be outlawed because it puts defensive players at risk of their health and everything else. But man, game one of your Florida State career, losing 24-3 at home, is not the time to complain about that. It doesn't matter how loud the fans were in there, because let's say your offense was allowed to go, I don't know, twice as fast as it did. You would have lost 24-6. 3 times as fast, 24-9. Keep doing the math. Terrible game for you guys. Not the time to open your mouth about this particular side.
Again, please just put the video up or the picture of Willie Taggart coaching his first game at FSU on the sidelines wearing a whistle.
So confusing.
I got a funny feeling that Willie is not going to be around for too long.
That's a lot of people. A lot of people have that funny feeling.
I think that's going to be
not
quick
so funny
in and
to
out.
Willie.
That's right. Do you buy that Jalen Ramsey won't get in Odell Beckham's Jr. head on Sunday?
I have no idea, but I was telling Izzy on the radio here, if I told you could watch one television, all of the games that are on in the NFL, or just Jalen Ramsey on Odell Beckham, one screen, watching that, that's what I would want to watch on Sunday, because Jalen Ramsey has spent his offseason doing something that I've never seen an athlete do, which is ripping his counterparts publicly and putting his name on it, and this is a tough assignment to get week one when you've been a loudmouth all season. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I would watch the single camera view of this matchup for the entire 3 hours of the game, and part of what you want to see is not just necessarily one guy dominating the other, but I almost want to see what Odell Beckham does if he does get owned. If he does have another situation like maybe Josh Norman where he's being overly physical, how he responds. Because I think the 4 greatest words that a Giants fan has heard from Odell Beckham since he signed his contract is, I learned my lesson. It doesn't matter what he was talking about. If he learned his lesson about something, and in this case, he was talking about the Josh Norman incident, but whatever he's growing from and improving and getting better at, even on the personal side and the emotional side, that's only going to help him be better. So that's just another element of this matchup that I'd love to see.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, Lane Johnson.
You're annoyed with the way people view you, it sounds like. When you say this dark side, like it sounds like you're annoyed by the way what people think of you.
Yeah, I feel like, not to say I'm John Jones, but I feel like I'm the John Jones of the NFL. As far as talent-wise, I feel like I'm up there with talent ability at the tackle position. I don't see nobody as having a higher ceiling as me.
I just saved hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. I should have done this years ago.
Disclaimer, traveling back in time is physically impossible unless you know how to build a functioning time machine. Then by all means, travel 25 years back in time, switch your car insurance to Geico. You could save a bunch of money. While you're there, please prevent your younger self from wearing that sleeveless tuxedo t-shirt, parachute pants, and glitter high tops to your senior prom. And at long last, rectify this horrible crime against nature. Geico is absolved of all liability if you destroy the fabric of time and space.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Joining us at the beach today, Lane Johnson.
Mouthy champion for the Eagles. He's interesting. He's colorful. Also, he hates Izzy Gutierrez. He's demanded that he goes away. Let's talk to Lane. Can you explain to us, because you're mean, you're tough, you can't do what you do for a living and not be those things. Can you explain to us where and how you came about being this way, this mean?
Probably just because I wasn't recruited highly out of high school. I went to a 1A school in Texas. So, like, Des Bryant went 30 minutes down the road in Lufkin, and that's a big 5A school. So, as far as getting overlooked, it's real easy to get overlooked by those powerhouses, you know, there, Dallas, Houston. So I had to go the JUCO route. I wasn't happy about that. And then when I got the JUCO, you know, I didn't really have a great year. But I knew my body was developing. I was already a tight end size by the springtime, so I knew I was going to end up playing somewhere else. And so I had good workouts there in the spring. I had a few small offers. And pretty much what I said is I'm going to go to a Division I school and walk on or try to get a scholarship. So my high school coach, Keith Thomas, he played at OU. He knew some connections up there. So I'd go visit them. Then on the way back home that summer, I'd visit TCU because they were recruiting me out of high school. Long story short, I was at a point in my junior year where I had to, you know, I wasn't going to get to play. All I wanted to do was get on the field. So Stoops asked me to play tackle. And being a skill position player your whole life, the last thing you want to hear is, oh, here we go. Let's go play some tackle. As far as that, it was a big misconception at first. You know, you don't really realize what linemen do in this league. It looks simple, but it's really a lot more complex than what people make it out to be. So just having all those setbacks and then having to earn my way through college, you know, going to the Senior Bowl, that was big for me. Had to prove it there. The combine was kind of icing on the cake, but nothing was really easy for me. My parents divorced when I was 5, so I was raised by a single mother. So I think I see a lot of her in myself. She's a single mother. Ended up going back to school, getting her degree. She works there for the prison system there in Texas, has been for years. So I think I got a good pedigree of people in my family that's dealt with some adversity and gone through it well.
Can you explain to us, after 5 years old, in terms of what you remember, were you an angry kid or were you a well-adjusted kid? What were you like as a kid?
No, I'm not really an angry guy at all. I like to be the funny guy. I just love being around people, love being around my friends and making people laugh and having a good time. So that's kind of been my role in this team. But then I have a dark side, man, when I see what collectively what the world thinks of me, and knowing that, hey, it may be a mixed message at first, and I can't replace the stuff that I've done. But moving forward, I would like you to take a look at what I do on the field, how I play, how I carry myself, and I think you'll see a big change.
You're annoyed with the way people view you, it sounds like. When you say this dark side, it sounds like you're annoyed by the way what people think of you. Yeah, I feel like, not to say I'm John Jones, but I feel like I'm the John Jones of the NFL. As far as talent-wise, I feel like I'm up there with talent ability at the tackle position. I don't see nobody as having a higher ceiling as me. Not to say that I've done in my sport what he has, but I feel like there's a lot of mystique around it, and that's what I really feel. Do you like that at all, though? Because John Jones is a bad man. John Jones is,
it is what it is. But hindsight, looking back, there's a lot of years of hard work behind it. So moving forward, all I can do is do my best and just keep on racking it up.
How would you describe the doubt that hurt the most? You say you've been doubted all your life. You've been doubted at every point. Which is the doubt that hurt the most?
Wasn't even the suspensions. I think it wasn't the people who worried about the issue. It was just they really wanted me on the field. And I think being away from my team last year and seeing them, not to say that I want to be the poster boy of the Eagles, but I think I could have helped them out last year. I put people in bad positions, and that's what hurts me the most. You can say, headlines are going to be headlines. It's the media's job to do what they do, but that was probably the biggest thing because I knew that was total opposite of what I was growing up. I was the quarterback of the team at high school. I was seen as a leader, so to be seen in that light was totally new to me. But then again, I think it's what fueled my fire for this year and is what's going to fuel my fire for the remainder of my career.
Lane, Papi wants a crack at you. What do you got for him, Papi?
Yeah, this is a tough one, Lane, now, How do you propose to your wife?
Oh, there it is, the tough question.
How did I propose to my wife?
Yes.
Yep. It was at my parents' house. We're out there on the farm, and actually, if I'm being quite honest with you, we had a kid on the way. So, but I was going to be with her. I was already with her for 5 years in college. So, it was actually right before the combine. So, got engaged and then got married the day after my bowl game, and then went to combine training, Senior Bowl, and ended up having a delayed honeymoon.
Lane, he was asking you for a romantic thing with Valentine's Day, and you're like, we got pregnant, okay. I had to do it.
Sorry I came up short there, Papi. Hey, I apologize, man.
All right, do better.
That's okay.
Thank you, Lane. Thank you, Lane. We appreciate your time.
Gracias, Lane. Gracias.
Thank you.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable,
Riley McGree here. He's in blue.
Situation, but Atkinson did well. The boy from...
Oh, and there it is. It's one of the best questions I've ever heard. I have no idea what's here, but other than the Ugandan first deputy prime minister, why is he smiling?
There is a goal person everywhere.
time to play the game that has X-ray vision. Ooh, gross. Do you question?
You give us topics and events and we question them.
Do you question if this was intentional?
When we started this show, I had some ideas for what it would be. Leading the worldwide leader in soccer highlights was not among those choices. We go internationally to Australia. You got a Riley McGree here. He's in blue.
Situation, but Atkinson did well. The boy from...
Oh, and there it is. A beautiful goal.
What was that?
Oh, it was beautiful is what it was. Graceful. Look at the goal. It can do nothing. Let's stare in awe at the greatness of 19-year-old Riley McGree.
Oh, that was a complete accident. Look at his face. Look where he looks after he kicks that ball. It is not where the ball is going. He ends up going, oh, it's not over where I intended. It's all the way over there. That's a goal.
He's wrong. That's how great Riley McGree is. That was a no-look on the goalie into the opposite corner, and the goalie never even moved. It was a no-look.
Touche.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Oh, it's Riley McGree. Riley McGree.
Riley McGree.
Ah,
welcome.
Okay. I tell him. Go yourself.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Do you question if the Ugandan first deputy prime minister should be smiling?
I mean, it's one of the best questions I've ever heard. I have no idea what's here, but other than the Ugandan first deputy prime minister, why is he smiling?
There is a goalpost everywhere.
Oh, no, that's very embarrassing. Ugandan first deputy prime minister. Oh, come on. Who's the shoe? Needs help. Bob's jacket's too tight.
Oh, an Australian player has this amazing kick, and I question if it was on purpose, and yet all I want to do is hug this man and feel sorry for him.
No, I want to celebrate the strength of the Ugandan military.
Oh, boy, that's funny.
That is funny. What a great question. It is funny. What happened? What are you laughing about?
Reminds me of when you play soccer.
Dan, you look so young.
This was my high school days right here.
There you go. There it is.
Where'd the ball go?
Whoops. Poor ball. Not his son.
Poor ball. He finished the ball.
That's actual home video from my senior year of high school.
Time to play the game that is even more handsome in person. See? Oh, no. Brought to you by Evan Williams.
Whoa, we've got a sponsor. That's never happened before on CNO. All right, you tell us what to watch on television tonight. We tell you if we're intrigued.
On Masson, Cubs and Nationals.
I was already holding this up, so I guess my answer is C. Let's see what happened at first base with Javi Baez the other day.
Into a 6-3 double play his last time up.
That wasn't much of a lead. He didn't have much. Those two guys are just bored. Yeah, let's see. Really? Again? Really? Again? Okay.
That is hilarious.
As if baseball weren't quite slow enough. Izzy, are you intrigued?
I wasn't until I saw that. Javi Baez puts the fear into all pitchers, regardless of where he is, regardless of what he's doing. That's proof.
Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, that pitcher has a real bad move to first base. He's not going to fool any runner, you know what I mean? I mean, you know when he's going to turn to first base just by looking at the guy, you know what I mean? You got to go back to training camp and, you know, you got to improve on your pick-off move.
Why did you hit me with your elbow as if something funny was said there?
Here, come on. I'm dying over here.
You guys hanging in there?
We left you hanging, Papi. We left you hanging.
On YouTube, How Hungry Are You?
A cooking show, and it involves this time Serge Ibaka and Carrie Champion. What are they cooking?
I'm cooking the fish, but she have to eat the fish eyes.
Oh, fish eyes.
Oh, hey. I know her.
You go first.
This is the ice.
That's Serge Ibaka.
Okay, go ahead.
No, Serge. No.
And you're chewing. Oh my God, you're chewing. I cannot. He's like, you didn't put it out.
Okay.
You okay?
I need water.
Can I cut this part off?
No, I only cut half. Because you're going to finish everything anyway. Good job. No, come here. No. You cannot throw. You have to go.
I won't bite.
No, you have to squeeze it.
Oh.
I'm not going anymore.
All of that is Raptors basketball against the Cavs, just throwing up. It should be the emblem they put on their uniforms, just throwing up into a napkin. Izzy, are you intrigued?
I was going to say I'm ridiculously jealous of Carrie Champion having an NBA player cook for her, but not when you have to eat a fish eye.
No. No, thank you. Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, I tell you one thing, nobody's thinking about that poor fish, you know what I mean? The poor fish, he was doing anything. He was wandering around. They caught the fish now. They fried the fish, and now they ate one of his eyes. Now we got a blind fish, you know what I mean? That's not right, you know what I mean? That's not right. That's not right, you know what I mean? You got to protect the right of the fish, you know what I mean? You can't just do that and eat his eye. That's the only thing he got left. You know what I mean?
He really didn't have anything left.
Perfectly functioning eye.
He really didn't.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Check out the radio show, 10 to 1 Eastern every day on ESPN Ooze.
Football.
You want to come over to the house tonight and watch the game? Just you and me?
I'd love to. Yeah.
Got a deal?
Yeah.
Really?
Anybody else you can think of to invite?
No. That's okay. You and me only.
Let's do it.